that men, we're kind of just waiting for y'all to step up. And that's I mean, if I'm getting real transparent, that's why I like to specialize in coaching men. It's not that I can't coach women. I love my ladies. But I have such a heart for men because I'm very direct. I mean, the men in here can probably resonate with just how direct I am and how straight to the point and no fluff that I can get to the root of an issue and how to logically communicate and problem solve for it. So it tends to appeal to men. But also to be able to hold safe space for men to figure out how they want to show up and empower a man has been a really fascinating and interesting and rewarding aspect to the company that I run. Because I feel like the messaging that men are getting is that you're the problem, you're toxic, you hurt women, women don't need you, all of that kind of messaging. And I wholeheartedly believe that's not true. Do I feel like women have girl bossed a little too close to the sun? Maybe. With the Me Too movement and the equal pay and the we want to be treated equally, yet, I'm just going to basically stick to like millennial men and Gen X men and older. The way that you guys were raised was from a very transactional relationship type because our parents and the generations before, it was very transactional. The man worked outside the home. A woman could not get a bank account on her own until the 1970s. So even if a woman wanted to leave a toxic relationship, like our grandparents, and they wanted to leave and it was abusive, they couldn't. They didn't have the financial ability to support their children or to get out of really toxic, bad situations. So they didn't. And they stayed. And so, we can blame divorce rates and modern culture is ruining. It's like women didn't have the option. We don't know if the divorce rates would have been higher. And then also religion was way more prevalent back in the day. That was your only source of like social and community, interactions was a church of some kind of religion. And so, yeah, there were really high religious values, which are still here today for sure. They're just not as, prevalent to driving decision-making. And so when we got to kind of the Me Too movement and women empowerment and we can get paid, we can be business owners, we can be moms, we can be everything, all of a sudden this need for a man is not non-existent. It's just different than what was modeled for current generation of men as little boys, right? So our needs now as women who have a lot more opportunities and don't necessarily need a man financially to be the provider, protector, they're much more mental and emotional, right? And we desire connection with a man and intimacy with a man and vulnerability with a man, and we can partner together in the other areas of protection or provision. Now, again, this is broad generalizations. Everybody is different. Everybody, there are still very traditional transactional relationships. I'm not saying anything's right or wrong. I just think that the way that society is going, that's what men are experiencing, is that women have the ability, right, or the opportunity to leave really shitty relationships. We aren't forced to stay in them. And to some extent, just depending on what the actual situation is, that may be a good thing or a bad thing, that a woman doesn't have to sit around and figure it out because she can go live her own life. However, it is requiring a skill set from men that wasn't really a part of most men's upbringing in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and even 90s. Right? And so that's why I have such a heart for men of helping you bridge the gap between what is traditional masculinity and what you were taught as masculinity, and that to help you understand your nervous system in a way for you to feel safe within your body and your nervous system so that you can hold space for a woman and her nervous system and lead a woman who is going to be emotional. We are ups and downs. That is just we are cyclical in our hormones. So she will have all sorts of different emotional states throughout a month, and you get the opportunity to be the rock that her waves can crash against and be that juicy, safe place for us to land, to be in our soft, feminine, like whatever you want, we will submit to everything. I promise you, men, if you're listening to this, if you become a mental and emotional safe space for your woman, you will not have any problem with her being a freak in the bedroom. I promise you, she will initiate way more than you probably could ever even handle. Okay? But when we don't feel safe emotionally, we close up and we dry up. Okay, so all of that to say, the reason why I love the program that I have for men is because it works to help men see what value they can provide and step into that power, not from a place of control, not from a place of diminishing a woman, but helping a woman like thrive, and you thrive, and the whole ecosystem of your family life thrives, whether that's a current relationship, whether that's a future relationship. That's been a really awesome journey for me to go on, is to look at how to bridge the gap between how women have evolved, because I'm very much an empowered woman, blah, 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 girl boss, whatever you want to call it. And there's still like the relational and emotional evolution of men to catch up to where women have been for a long time, and still provide value in ways that you want to provide value in a relationship. It's not as much these stereotypical gender roles as much anymore, although if that's what you want, great, find a partner that wants that too. But it can be a co-creation between the two of you of how you want your life to look, and getting clear and intentional and communicating in a healthy way for both of you to be working towards something and bring your complementary skill sets to the relationship to fully thrive. So if that wasn't the best pitch there ever was for join the Healthy Mentality program, if you know a man and you want him to join, or you think he should look into it, have him DM me, or I can send you the link from my the page that explains more. Or men, applications are open now, and we start on May 18th, and it's 8 weeks of working together. So hit me up. How do I get past